Police Scotland have issued a statement after Ross Monaghan and Eddie Lyons Jr. were killed in a shooting in Spain. It is understood that a gunman fired shots at Monaghan's bar in Fuengirola in southern Spain on Saturday evening, leaving the pair dead. Spanish detectives previously said that investigations into the double murder, which took place at around 11:30 on the day, were ongoing. Police Scotland has confirmed it is supporting the force where requested. However, no officers from Scotland have been deployed within Spain. However, a number of media outlets are stating that there's fears that an all-out gangland war will explode in Scotland, which has been sparked with regards to the murder of these two. So it says that the underworld is braced for a scattergun of revenge attacks after the brutal murders of Ross Monaghan and Eddie Lyons Jr. from the Lyons gang. The force says that there is currently no intelligence to suggest that the deaths are linked to the recent targeted attacks in the east and west of Scotland being investigated under Operation Portaledge. They added that there is also nothing to suggest that the shooting in Fuengirola was planned from within Scotland. A police spokesperson said the investigation into the fatal shooting in Fuengirola is being carried out by Spanish police. Police Scotland is supporting Spanish police where requested. However, at this time, we have no officers deployed in Spain. There is currently no intelligence to suggest the deaths of these two men in Spain are linked to the recent criminal attacks in Scotland being investigated as part of Operation Portaledge. Any misinformation or speculation linking the events in Spain are not helpful to the ongoing investigations in either country. There is also nothing to suggest that the shooting in Fuengirola was planned from within Scotland. So guys, what do you think with regards to that news breaking today where Police Scotland are saying that it's got fuck all to do with them? Let me know what you think in the comments below. So witnesses actually relived their horror today after being caught up in the shooting in Fuengirola. So one victim stated that I thought they were going to kill me too. He goes, I thought I was hearing fireworks at first, but then I saw the noise was coming from someone firing a gun. A Chinese expat who owns a shop next to the bar told another media outlet it was about 11:30 when I heard the noise coming from next door. I looked out and I saw a man pointing something and shooting, saying he saw other customers run for their lives as the attack occurred and a family walking took refuge in his shop. He added, I didn't look at the gunman's face or whether he left on a motorbike or a car. I just remember I saw the weapon. I was in shock. I did not know how to react. Workers at nearby beach bar and restaurant also told our families with children took refuge inside after the shooting started. One said, I didn't see anything because we focused on crouching down and staying safe, but it was a very frightening experience. Also today, a nurse has spoken out with regards to how she tried to help one of the men whilst they were dying. So this nurse is believed to be British, and it's believed that she selflessly ran towards the carnage when she learned that someone had been shot. She discovered Lyons Jr.'s body on the terrace, but he was already dead by what she presumed was a bullet wound to his chest and another in his abdomen. The bar lady told the nurse there was another person inside, but when she found Ross Monaghan with a bullet hole in his chest, he was struggling to breathe. In a heart-wrenching gesture, she stroked the man's hair as he lay dying and held his hand during his final moments. She told a media source he was lying on the floor and was still alive, but his breathing was laboured. There was nothing I could do. He wasn't bleeding from his mouth, so I just held his hand, stroked his hair and waited for the emergency services. The courageous woman also led other tourists having a drink at the bar she was at with a partner inside to safety when she heard the shots initially fired. There was also graphic footage which was shared on Spanish television yesterday showing a gunman dressed in black striding towards Monaghan as he stumbled inside the bar, dropped to his knees in front of him. He then appeared to turn to look at his killer after a desperate attempt to scramble away. In that footage, bystanders were seen running for their lives before the assailant fired at least 4 rounds into Monaghan from close range. As I said, the shooting occurred late on Saturday after the Champions League final between PSG and Inter Milan. Spanish police have yet to make any arrests. They said the investigation is continuing into the fatal shooting of 2 men at a pub with nothing new at this moment in time. So Monaghan, who fled Scotland for Spain after a failed attempt on his own life outside a Glasgow primary school in 2017, was tried but acquitted over the murder of notorious Glasgow man Kevin Gerbil Carroll in an Asda car park in 2010. And in August 2017, he and Eddie Lyons Jr., both members of the Lyons Glasgow family clan, were cleared of being involved in the brutal street attack on 3 men outside the Campsie bar in Bishopbriggs. So the shooting in Spain comes amid a violent gang war that has ripped through Scotland since March, said to have started over a fallout over drugs. I made a video on that yesterday. Link is in the description below. Go check that out. So it was really shocking to see the CCTV footage that they released over on Spanish media. Spanish police earlier also pushed back on claims that a third person had been hurt and was in hospital. Spokesperson said there is no record of another person or people being injured. I think some subscribers are telling me that there's a woman that's been injured as well, and it wasn't 2 men, but obviously that wasn't the case. So the wife of one of the victims also witnessed the attack, according to the Malaga-based news outlet, Sir. The outlet didn't say which man's partner it was. The gunman was understood to have fled on foot before rejoining an accomplice in a car who had driven him to the murder scene. Police said so far they have retraced their escape route towards the old N340 dual carriageway heading towards Bella Medina. However, details on the getaway vehicle have not yet been released. You'd think, with the amount of CCTV that the world has on every street corner, they would have tracked something down, but who knows. So officers from the elite Spanish National Police Costa del Sol's anti-drug and organised crime unit are heading the ongoing probe, while they're reporting to a local investigating judge. Court officials were expected to confirm yesterday if a secrecy order had been placed on the investigation, preventing public officials from making any detailed public comments. Such orders, called secreto de sumario in Spanish, are often placed on criminal probes, especially in their infancy, to protect investigations by limiting the number of people who have access to sensitive information. Some local witnesses are identifying the assassin as a blonde man, and investigators are working on the theory that British nationals are behind the Gangland killing, but detectives have not confirmed. A British woman answered the phone at the Irish bar said to be owned by Ross Monaghan just the other day, but she told media outlets that the police have told her she's not allowed to comment on anything. So Monaghan's in Fuengirola described itself online as a place where you can relax and spend the day enjoying great home-cooked meals on a sunny terrace and watching sporting events. The murders on Saturday night followed the fatal shooting a few weeks ago of a 32-year-old British man from Liverpool in an Irish bar near Marbella. So a place called Calahonda, and he was shot dead around 8 o'clock in a professional hit as he headed back to his car after finishing a football match in Friends. The killers fled in a getaway car that was later torched, and police are investigating the brutal assassination as a drug-related gang shooting, but have yet to make any arrests. And then there was also another shooting before the Calahonda one. A 34-year-old man, a British man, was rushed to the Costa del Sol hospital in Marbella after being shot outside a nightclub. Absolute madness going on in Spain. But as I said, guys, what do you think with regards to Police Scotland and the statement that they've released today, saying that they don't believe there's any Scottish involvement in the shooting? Let me know what you think in the comments below.